don't know how all of this lives in my head, I don't know how all this lives in my head. And we still have 12 books missing. Welcome to the vampire age of the Merna Annals, everybody. If you're not sure how I can connect Cleopatra and Mark Antony all the way to now, we're about to go over that because I've got one more line of family interconnectedness to figure out how to add into all this mess. In honor of one of my favorite channels on here, Useful Charts, let's go ahead and figure this out. And oh my goodness, thank you, Canva, for sitemaps. Welcome on back to another episode of Sitting Down with Soul Writer. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance. We're talking about my mainline series, the Merna Annals, today. Yes, there's a shenaniganator in the backgrounds already, ma'am. We have talked about her giving y'all a show with the bathing, haven't we, ma'am? You already knocked one pen down. She's going to be a shenaniganator while we do this. So I got this idea from watching Sarah Cannon do another video a while ago on mind mapping using site mapping, and I was like, I've been trying to find a program other than Prezi to put my maps of various kinds into. I already have like a reading order flowchart map, and I can show you all how I made that in another video, but welcome to a kind of family tree. This is a family tree blend mixed with a found family tree connection that covers most of the characters, not all of them are on here, but most of the characters that come up during the Merna Annals. So, of course, it starts all the way up here with Arsinoe and, well, her sister Cleopatra, because they're the ones who are fighting. And let me zoom in already. Jean, hello. It starts with these two sisters fighting. Notice one of them became a vampire. She's the first vampire, the mother of all vampires. But I have like all these different keys in here already. Who's human, who's eventually going to become Merna, a magical immortal of one of five, usually five types. And then like we have all these different lines and what they mean. Gray with an arrow is a biological child. So for example, Arsinoe with an unnamed god, totally named if you read the books. I'm going to leave it unnamed here for spoilers. They end up birthing Arsinoe's only daughter, Magdalena, who, if all of you know, through her daughter Setina, is the mother of Lady to Book 1, Neftiri. That's how we get Neftiri connected all the way back to Cleopatra as her great aunt, because her great-grandma is, well, Cleopatra's sister. So we have those lines being tracked. We also have adopted child lines being tracked. Now, I'm going to go, no matter which one I cover, I'm going to give spoilers. We'll go with this one because you find this one out in a future book. So, technically, Corin is adopted by Frey and Lee. Notice off their mating line, which is that green line, you have this red line. That means adopted, and like thoroughly so. Now, the purple line means that is someone that they turned. Certain magical immortals in my lore, in the lore for the Merna Annals, it's not my lore, good lord, it's Neftiri's. She's the one who hunted me down, puns intended, and, chose me to be her soul bard. She wouldn't have followed me since I was a teenager for a reason. Anyhow, these are the lines showing who gets turned by whom. Now, technically, I am missing some turned lines in here for my werewolves. Technically. Iliada, Bjorn, they technically have a turned line, but I haven't followed through on that story yet, so we'll get there probably eventually. But you also have the fact that, Neftiri and Abraxas as vampires have turned a lot of people, and Ian eventually will turn somebody. Eventually. That book comes out in October. Anyway, so mated lines means that they're a couple, but brown lines mean that they've been separated by divorce or the afterlife, another realm, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, this blue line is an other line. Like, I'm not going to write out the family tree that connects Arya back to this person who is totally named in book 5 like twice. and that's it. No, I'm not sharing the name. Yes, I could tell you who the great, I want to make a joke here from Emperor's New Groove so badly. Anyway, great uncle, so distant cousin applies. Instead of putting it there, I don't need to know those people, but I put all this in and I'm like, wonderful, it looks amazing. And then I'm like, how am I going to track who's the blood-bound siblings? Because that means I gotta somehow connect Vovery all the way over to Frey, all the way over to Ian, all the way down to Harumi, and back. Because each 4 of them have to somehow connect to each other. I was going to do a dark blue line for that. It's going to be a lot of dark blue. Like a solid dark blue line. It's going to be a lot of dark blue. Why? Because I also need to connect Neftiri over to Arya. And that also means I need to branch off all 5 of his winged ones down here off of that line. And somehow Victoria and Marco have to connect all the way over here to Iona, Elias, and Corin. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh, Canva. I kid you not. I think we're making another. I can't believe this is a third. I have this all on one sheet of paper. Physically. Mind you, it's more like a poster board. To be fair, so that's probably part of it. I guess we're doing this way. Okay, so welcome to my madness for a walkthrough now, not later. Go get some coffee. You're going to need it. Alrighty, so first things first. Let's go ahead and properly fix our file names in the other tab right quick. I'm going to just make it Merna Family Tree. I guess it would be human and Merna Family Tree, and then come over here to the window tab y'all can see, because I only made it source to one tab on the share, and I probably should have done the whole window. Anyway, so let's go ahead with found family and blood bound siblinghood. Now, in the Merna Annals, there is a technical term for this. If I were to go ahead and... Where's book 1? There's book 1. Ha 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 ha! Instead of pulling it up on screen, let me just pull up the physical copy behind me. There's a handy-dandy glossary of Merna and other common terms toward the front of the book, and the first term at the top, literally, Adkos Naiha. Siblings in arms and merit who are bloodbound through ritual must be nominated and approved by council elders, which you actually get to see that happen in book 1, and that's probably where we'll probably start as a nexus point would be a good idea. And then, of course, Uran Shife and Uran Shifan, or add Ra at the end of that as appropriate, if they're anyone other than Rochelle, actually, now that I think about it, until we get to Regolith's relics. That's in another year or 2. Anyway, cannot make nominations if you're basically queen of the immortals, but you can persuade an elder to do so on your behalf. Persuasion is a thing that comes up as a concept again and again and again. It doesn't get a glossary definition because we talk about it in the text enough, and I'm like, I bet people know what persuasion means. Gathering evidence, collecting receipts, getting documentation. I think that's general enough. I didn't have to really put it in there. Baka and I, however, are using it as part of, like, tropes, skills, and stuff like that, and traits in the Merna Annals TTRPG as part of the merit system, maybe? Question mark? Go check the live streams if you want to see all 16 and more episodes of that, as we are quickly writing it. So let's get these family connections going. I want to start here. I said I was going to make these blue. Yes, I did. Oh, no, it's not doing the connector thingy for me. Oh, do I need a shape? I needed a shape. Okay, So you can use 2 parts of the sitemap accordingly, however you see fit here. I'm using shapes because I'm just putting in people's names and maybe a tiny note or two. But if you need to put in like a full-on note, they have sticky notes in here that you can still connect and draw lines into, and even grid and text boxes. We're hanging out with the circles. You'll see why here in a moment. Yes, I'm going to go up here on the toolbar that pops up when you select that circle. On the left-hand side, third-ish button in, and I'm going to change the color. I said I was going to do dark blue. I'm probably going to do cobalt. Ian blue is what I like to call it because it's literally his eye color. That's about Vovery's eye color, so I want more like Ian. It's a little bit easier on the eye, and that way if I need to go lighter or darker, I have those options. I guess it's kind of Rochelle's eye color, a little more gray, a little less periwinkle, but close. So cobalt blue it is. I think we're going to start here and here. Now, I do need to borrow that purple line for turning, and I'm going to use that duplicate button here and make that, oh, what shade of green was that? What shade of green was that? What's the hex on this? Thank you. So if you didn't know, you can double click one of these circles and it'll pop up a color picker within Canva. And this little hex code here, you can take and just, Control or Command C. I guess you didn't see that. Let me try it over here again. In the other tab, I double clicked on a color. And when you double click on a color, you can actually bring up the hex tab color sometimes in certain areas of the brand kit. I copy and pasted this hex color because I wanted the screen to match what you saw the mating line earlier. And you know what would be even smarter, Jenna? You made a legend or a key. Everyone's probably going, why didn't she copy from the other tab her legend and key? Because, well, one, it needs to be resized. I was zoomed in further on this one. Anywho, I wasn't thinking that smartly, apparently, or that brightly. We're going to make this bigger. Yay. And this a little bigger because my eyes are bad. So I'm starting here, probably, and you can probably see here how you can double click in the text now. Double click any color. It works in the text. Not always in every other box coloring, but it works in the text color change at least. And you can copy this code here and take it into other places. Like if I were to copy this color into my website will get almost exactly the same color purple. You get what I mean? So definitely make sure you have those for your logos or moments like this if you're like me and you're particular. I think I'm going to go with my brand yellow. No, I want the text in there to be my brand yellow. Type an A. Whoa, that tiny text. That tiny. We're going to make that bigger. And I'm just using the dial up on the text bar. You could, 55, one of my favorite numbers. Let's go with 88 though. That's a little bit bigger. That's a little bit bigger. That's a little bit bigger. And I have some longer names here. I mean, we do have Ian, but it, as you can see, whoops, Neftiri needed to fit in there too. And I do have some other longer names, but I'm going to start with them since there are a couple from book 1 and they're not bloodbound siblings, but a lot of people are bloodbound siblings with them. We're going to start, their group. And I think we're going to track in most people. You'll see why. So we're going to start with Ian. Branching off of Ian, you're going to have 3 people. Bovary, Hotomy, and I know better, Frey. You go on the bottom. Jokes apply. Frey, in tenure puns. Now, those are Ian's only 3 bloodbound siblings. Neftiri has more, because technically as an elder, she gets this bond as well to the following people. Arya, also an elder. Cyrus, who is Arya's the king of all Fae and elder of the light Fae. Cyrus is the leader of the Dracokin, which he has to go there because I need to not make those mating lines purple. These are bloodbound sibling lines, aren't they? Yes, they are. So even the lines need to be cobalt blue. Let me go fix that. That's an easy fix. Because now I can just take this, on the far right-hand side, you see this painter button, and just click it over to all the other arrows to make the colors match that need to match, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, that purple one stayed purple. Okay, that's good. That's good. So we have those at play. I do need to copy this one, because technically all dragging kin, there's so few of them by the start of book 1, that whoever the elder of the dragon kin are, and there's only males in 1665 book 1, they are all bound because there's so few of them. So they're all sibling bound. Vovary connects back to Cyrus. Connects to other people. But let's go back to Neftiri now. And you can see, whoops, how I'm just repeating the pattern of adjusting the arrows, dragging stuff where I need to. I love that this is dragging and dropping, but you can quickly see I have so many people in my guest. I'm going to run out of room. Let's montage this and see how quickly I run out of room.
The chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
All right, everybody. As you can see, I don't even have all of the main couples on here yet. We're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. I have to branch off Maria here, and if you don't know, she's the leading lady on the cover of book 4. She has a bond here. As I'm realizing, I'm forgetting one key person, and some people are going, "Where's Malice?" Or in Rochelle. We're getting there soon, so we're going to actually go right here. Malice. Ugh. And for my Black Dagger Brotherhood fellow fans, you're like, I know why you spelled it that way. No, you don't. Anyway, if she ever writes a book with that character spelled that way, I'm in trouble. Even though my Malice may or may not exist first. Yes, I combed the archives for that one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anywho, then we're down here. We have a Rochelle, who technically Rochelle now has to connect back through everybody else. Because she was queen. That one going to take a bit. But I need to also connect Malice. What I'm wondering if, whoops, Control Z. What I'm wondering if I can do here is just duplicate a line. And kind of like how the mating line worked with the child line. It's like, I want to be able to branch that and just be like, Malice has this with both of them, but she also duplicate, go this way. Yes, I got to make the sound effects. I got into doing that while teaching. Blame the students. Anywho, but she also has a connection to Lee. You see how that saves me a line? For sure. It saves me a line. And I'm wondering if I can do that with Rochelle to kind of save me, because yes, Rochelle is Neftiri's turnling and her proxy replacement when they send Neftiri into exile. That's the start of book 1, why Rochelle is queen, and I love that Canva's like trying to help me put that in there. Yeah, because you see, like, couldn't I just put that, like, right on that line? And doesn't that now mean Rochelle has this relationship with this person, and this person? Yes? Sadly, unfortunately, I gotta route it all the way over there. So, montage!
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Step it up. Don't be scared.
Welcome back! So you can see how very quickly this can go squirrel, and why part of me was like, I don't know if I could make that overline with the other one. I'm going to continue to possibly play around in here, but are there other applications I could be looking at? Let me know. Chat below. What questions do you have? What ideas did you get? And above all, purple hearts included. Take care of yourself. You've always mattered, dang it.